going to go on to race number 9 now. We can't go back to race 7 after race 8, Paul. Stop raising your eyebrows. It's the wheelchair handicap over the 1,200 metres into Class 3. Gold Baby's at the top of the book. He had some mucus in the system last time. Nordic Dragon carries an extra £9 for his last start win. Lucky 8 had the perfect trip and he might get it again. He ran third behind Nordic Dragon when they last met. California Sybil back from the 1400 at Sha Tin. Maconi County's last three has been over at Sha Tin. We've got Equilata Blitz with the visor off and the blinkers going back on. Phoenix like Zach Purton, one ride for one win. Magic Phoenix we haven't seen since January, and Cofield is coming off that fifth behind Sonpak Fu. He's actually eligible for a Class 4 race. Now the speed here, Tom, expected to be good, and we are going back to race number 9 with Active Faith leading. Yeah, he can certainly come across from barrier number 8. He was up outside the leader Exponential, and in the end those two dominated the race. They finished 1 and 2. Equilata Blitz has got some speed. He's got the blinkers going back on, the visor off from barrier number 10. Looks a little tricky for Wagner Borges and Magic Phoenix out wide there in barrier 12. But Lucky 8, Paul, should get a lovely run through. Yeah, perfect run from barrier 1. And I thought California Sybil will be in the right spot as well. Nordic Dragon, when he was held up, he has led earlier in his career, Nordic Dragon, but when he was held up last time, he ran really well, did Nordic Dragon. And we know Gold Baby likes to get back and roar home. But it is a horse that races well around Happy Valley that we are going to focus on. Nordic Dragon is his name, and his rider is Hugh Bowman.
Hugh Bowman, Nordic Dragon, one of your rides on Wednesday night. Did a good job to return to the winner's enclosure last time.
He did, Nick. He ran very well 2 starts ago, and you know, it wasn't unexpected to see him do what he did last start, and he did it with a bit of authority. So he's drawn middle of the field this time, so I feel like he's, you know, matured mentally in the couple of times that I've been on his back, and I don't see any reason why he can't repeat that performance.
Just the nature of the win last time out, you say he did it with a bit of authority. It was quite noticeable that it was very much a hands and heels ride late on. Were you always confident that you'd pick up the leader and eventual runner-up?
I was, although it did put on a bit of a fight when I levelled up to it, which is often the case here in Hong Kong. So, but he did win. He came from well back. He got into a really good rhythm mid-race, and I would expect, like I said, him to do the same. He seems to be more effective ridden. You know, just been switched off early in his races, but with a better draw and with the advantage of having those 2 runs where he has been ridden a bit quieter than he was before I rode him, you know, I think his racing pattern will start to adapt pretty swiftly.
Has that been the feeling from Connections? Obviously, he made all to win on his debut, but I guess, you know, that was in a lesser grade sort of thing. Are they of the opinion now that he is the type of horse that you sort of wait with and he's a better horse coming from behind?
Well, I mean, we had to sort of overdo it a bit the first time I rode him because he drew really wide and he really was fierce, but he settled into a good rhythm mid-race and finished off well on what was a pretty frantic speed that day, mind you. And then last start, they didn't go quite so fast. He did things a bit more economically in the middle of the race and finished accordingly. So I can see him performing well again in this class, and I can see him performing well if and when he goes up in Class 2.
That is Hugh Bowman on Nordic Dragon. Paul, what about the extra weight with him this week?
Yeah, he's up a bit of weight, isn't he? Up that £9 for that win. Look, I still think he's a really good chance, though. He sort of lost his way. He looked really good in his first couple of starts, lost his way, but he seems to have found it back now.
I think what maybe helped with him that they sort of tried to teach him to race sort of 2 runs ago, and he was back in the field and had a few things go against him, but he was good last time out. I will say when he did win, there was a bit of rain about, and I don't think at that sort of stage of the night the track was rated good at all.
OK, that is Nordic Dragon. As we move on to some of his opposition, Tom, we're going to start with Jumbo Fortune, who hasn't been with Pierrong for too long, but he's been running home very strongly, and Cobefield's the other horse in this race in those blue and white colours. Is he a case of he does it every week, Jumbo Fortune, and runs 4th?
Yeah, he's on a 7-day turnaround here, so he's on a quick backup, but did like the way he ran on behind Sonpak Fu, and he's a horse that just keeps winning at the moment, but he does this, gets back, runs on, and you're sort of saying next time, and then he comes out and does the same thing over 12 or 1,400 metres.
He does, doesn't he? Look, he was right on the cusp for me, but just because of that running style, but he didn't quite make it.
Now, we saw Lucky 8 in the interview with Hugh. That was his Last start third, where he had every chance. This is 2 starts ago, Paul, where he's getting through on the inside. He comes up with a great draw again of barrier number 1. One of your old favourites, California Sybil, also runs in this race. Didn't quite stretch out to 1,400 metres. Prefer him back to Happy Valley this week.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I think he might be the forgotten horse. He has won off this rating, although be it he got relegated. But look, so he is capable. And he wasn't too far away here. Lucky 8, a really nice win from him. He had to work really hard in the final stages to get up, but he did it. He did the job.
Yeah, it definitely goes into Sir Lucky 8 again. Maybe last time out, just the wetter track conditions at the back end of the night might have not been to his liking.
That is Lucky 8 in California Sybil. This, Tom, is Nakoni County running at Shah 10, where his last 3 starts have been. One over 1,200 metres this race, the 2 prior down the straight over 1,000. 2-time winner, course and distance, Happy Valley.
Can't get a gate though, Nakoni County, but I did actually like the way he ran on in this race. He got a fair way back and look, he was still beaten 5 1/4, and this was a race behind Golden Express, and he put them to a sword a fair way out, and he's going to line up again at the weekend amongst the nominations for Sharton. But look, he is making good ground there, Paul, Nakoni County.
Yeah, he did finish off nicely, didn't he? And he is better here, as you say. He's a 2-time course and distance winner, so look, he's definitely one of the chances. Barrier 11, as you say, is just a little bit tricky.
And Brenton Avdulla takes the ride on him. One thing he does have in his favour, Paul, is the Casper Founds polish. The stable had a great April.
They have, haven't they? You can see 60 runners for those 11 wins and a good strike rate as well. So, look, the stable's definitely in form.
Yep, they've had plenty of winners around to Happy Valley over the last few weeks. He's got Loyal Ambition in race number 1, Charming Seed. Royal Pride has come off the standby list into race number 3, and certainly not a forlorn hope. Young Life Forever coming back in trip. June Planet continues to run on. Nunchucks further down in the night, and then you've got Victory Scholars up in grade, the last start winner, and Nakoni County. So I think at least a couple can go well there, Paul.
Yeah, there's a few there that have got good chances on it.
Won the first on Sunday too with Packing Hurricane Dig Casper. Next replay features Tom Active Faith. There he is there up on the pointy end. 2 starts this grade for 2 placings. Phoenix Light is following through in behind him. Heroic Master is wider out, and Gold Baby winds up with an excuse here. He just did not run at all and run on at all, and the reason was clear in the steward's report. He had a whole lot of mucus in the system.
Yeah, so that didn't suit him. In saying that, he was actually only beaten 3 lengths when he was right in the mark as well at 3.8. So I think a definite forgive for him. This race dominated, Paul, by the top 2, Exponential and also Active Faith. But Magniac's come out and won. Heroic Master, I still wonder about him at 1,200, but he was making ground.
He was making it better. I prefer to see him over 1,000. I think Gold Baby will get back and try and mow them down late.
That's the way he does like to race. To some trial form now, Paul. Magic Phoenix. Now, he's probably going to need a lot of luck to win on debut. The trial was under one of the apprentices, but it looked pretty sharp at Sharton. Yeah,
it wasn't bad, was it at all? And he did manage to trial off really nicely, this horse. Unknown here at coming to Happy Valley, that was the query.
Yeah, that would worry me a little bit as well. But the trial did seem to be okay, but it was in behind Midori Beauty, who has been beaten again, and All Greek to me as well, who's also been beaten. So I'm not sold.
All right, question marks on Magic Phoenix there despite the trial at Shard 10. Good race to end the night, as it usually is on a Wednesday, Paul. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going to go, I think California Sybil might be over the odds. He is capable, he has one off, well, he was relegated, but he's first past the pace over this rating. Lucky 8 should get the perfect run. Nordic Dragon, we'll just see how he goes, and Gold Baby hitting the line strongly. 5-4-2-1.
Yeah, I'll go with Gold Baby. He had a clear excuse last time out with mucus. Comes into with us in relatively good form. He's a 3-time winner, course and distance. He's 1-2 in the grade. I don't think he should have too many issues carrying 135 pounds. He's a big, strong horse. So Gold Baby. Nordic Dragon goes in off that last win. He looked pretty impressive there, I thought. Active Faith and Lucky 8. 1, 2, 10 and 4.